Hello, I am Dr. Carla Couturier. I am a mindset and confidence coach for teenagers, and I'm here with my friend Sadie.
Hi everyone, I'm Sadie. I am 19 and I just got into this mindset work, so I'm pretty fresh and excited to share what I know.
So we're going to talk a little bit about different aspects of the teenager, and we are going to talk about 4 different aspects: resilience. We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about self-esteem, and we're going to talk about being empowered. So we can break it down step by step, or we can go through all of it. But I guess, how do you think a teen can become more of any of those things?
I think it's mostly just the experience. As you grow up, you're going to experience a lot of trials and tribulations, and I think embracing those and going into it with the idea that you can get through it and knowing that you can learn things from it is really what keeps you going and also allows you to learn from it.
So definitely experience is one of the things. Absolutely, I agree. I think a lot of the experiences I've gone through are the same things that teens today are going through. It might look a little different, but it's still the same feelings, emotions, and decision-making process.
Yeah.
How would you say what would a teen need to do to stay as consistent as possible with making good decisions and having a growth mindset and all of those things?
Definitely, from my experience, it's immersing yourself with the information. And nowadays, there's a lot of scrolling, a lot of McDonald's, internet stuff going on. And so, filling your feed with positivity and watching YouTube videos and just getting yourself into that growth environment, even if it's just on your phone. I think that plays a huge role, and that's gotten me very far in my own development.
So, if you were to gauge the percentage of teenagers that do engage positively on social media, and those that may let social media engage them, for lack of a better term, where do you think most teens lie in that continuum?
I would say a much higher percentage is in the area where they're letting the internet control them, and they're getting sucked into the scrolling and the junk on the internet.
Do you have any tips for them, like a actionable tip they can use if they find themselves in that mode? What's something you might do, or something they can do?
Something that I do is just anytime that thought comes up, that I'm scrolling and I become aware of it, then I just do whatever I can to feed that thought, either by stopping or engaging with that thought, being like, okay, I'm scrolling right now, and it's kind of a process, and you kind of get into a habit of breaking it.
So you are in the moment able to recognize your patterns. At times you are scrolling and you don't notice it, but then at times you notice it and you go, oh, wait a minute, I'm scrolling. And then you recognize the pattern, and you're able to either change it and stop and go do something else, or recognize it and you may decide to continue to do it. But
yeah, and it comes a lot to willpower, because it is an addicting thing. And I think that the more that you stop the scrolling and do something else, that's neurosculpting your brain to continue to stop doing that, and it'll get easier and easier.
What do you think? So speaking of addictions, I know vaping is very prevalent. With a lot of teens do not vape, but there's a lot of teens that do, or parents don't know they do, and it's very easy to get.
Yeah.
What is your suggestions on that? Is it a similar thing to being addicted to social media, being addicted to vaping, or what is it? I guess the question is, what does a teen need in order to say no? What do you think they need within?
I think that a lot of that comes from how they were parented and their inner traumas, because at a young age is typically when people do start that stuff. And so I think a lot of it has to do with the parenting, but if it's in the kid's hand, then I think it has has to do with educating yourself on it, because the more educated you are on something, the more aware you are of it, the more power you have to change.
Do you think that with support, teens can overcome their addictions or their poor decision making, or kind of anything that gets in the way, their resistance? Do you think support helps that, and what type of support do you think would help that?
I think that the support can definitely help that. Personally, I've been through all the addictions. I started vaping at a young age because I fell into that group, so I do have the personal experience in that, and I haven't had a whole lot of support in getting out of it. But with the drinking, it just came to a point where I got so low that I had to stop, or I wouldn't survive. So sometimes it comes to that. But support definitely can help. The little support that I have had in that area has helped a lot.
So do you think like a support of a coach, because I'm a coach and you're going into coaching, do you think the support of a coach would accelerate that for a teen if they have that availability? You know, if their parents are willing to get them into coaching, do you think that could accelerate their progress?
100%, yeah. And I haven't had a whole lot of coaching done for me, but I'm getting into the frameworks and the methodologies and kind of coaching myself through things, and it's improved my life in those addictions and the mental health tremendously, just from my own awareness and knowledge. So being coached is a phenomenal thing that can change your life.
Yes, I agree. And I know I've gotten coaching as an adult, and now I'm in we're in the same coaching program to an extent. And it's been very valuable to me as an adult as well. And to be honest, having you as an accountability buddy in addition to having a coach, so if two people can go through it at the same time too, is even more powerful.
Yeah.
And I know your mom is in the program too, so the whole family really being coached and being exposed to, like you're saying, the research and the education of it can really help.
Yeah,
any questions that you want to pose?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm feeling good about this.
Okay, I am too. Well,
Great.
thank you so much, and I hope we do this again sometime soon.
Yes, of course.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for listening.